Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're still looking for that perfect July summer nail look, I got you covered. Today we're going to take a look back at some of my favorite sets that we've done for the month of July, and I put them all in one video. Stay tuned, we will be doing some more fun summer nail looks, and we're going to be diving into some really fun innovative products here in the upcoming weeks on my channel, so definitely make sure you stay tuned for that. I hope you and your family are having a wonderful 4th of July celebration this weekend, and I'll see you all in next week's video. Everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from 915 Aesthetics. We're also going to be creating a set of press-ons today on the shape Short Coffin, and we're going to pull in the gel method today. So we're going to be creating a Memorial Day mani, but yet you could also use this for 4th of July because they're both right around the corner. So we are doing the gel method today, and we're going to start off with Latte. Now the colors that we're using today kind of remind me of like a vintage 4th of July kind of style, with just how like these colors look together. I love these colors. These are all solids, and they definitely are must-have staple colors if you are looking to build up your collection with great solid quality, like high quality solids. 915 Aesthetics is gonna be the way to go. So since we are doing the gel method today, after each dip, and I'm gonna go ahead and just gently press everything down, and then I'm gonna cure each coat for a full 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna go ahead and dust off, and then we'll repeat that same process with all the nails here. We're going to end up doing 2 coats of each color. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into these gorgeous colors and see them in action. Then I'm going to pop back in when it's time to do a little bit of fun nail art.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again, but life is one big riddle of the future and what's been. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, running to better times. Go, from my emotions I'll go, running to better times, 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 to better times. Remember I was laughing in all the photos that you took, but now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know why you let me go. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, running to better times. Go, from my emotions I'll go, running to better times, 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 to better times. I look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me, nothing can stop me in the night. Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night, like I am leaving all the bad stuff. Go, running to better times. Go, from my emotions I'll go, running to better times, to better times, to better times, to better I once felt I'm done with the defense. Drove back and climbed over your fence. Had to show you that I was a mess. So you were shrugging your shoulders and closed off. That's what I told you. Soon enough, everything started to change. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying heights. Riding on the dizzying heights. Felt like nothing could stop us. Sunsets, remember the colors. They were wrong, it was way more than a dream. We climbed up, yeah, over the hillside. So right, we stood there all wide-eyed. You and I floated on air in my mind. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying heights. I'm standing on the dizzying heights. You make everything so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together, standing on dizzying heights. You make everything so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together, standing on dizzying heights. There's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying heights. Oh, I'm standing on the dizzying heights. Oh, I'm standing on the dizzying heights. Oh, I'm standing on the dizzying heights. Standing on the dizzying heights. Everything's so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together, standing on dizzying heights. You make everything so much better. Riding high on your river, you and I, we're climbing way up together, standing on the dizzying heights.
All right, and here's what we're working with. I did the filing and buffing off camera. I just cleaned up the sidewall since everything was laying really flat. So this set right here looks perfect with these colors alone, but we're gonna go ahead and add some nail art. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply a layer of gel base to all of the nails, and then I'm gonna cure for 30 seconds. And I did that to all of the nails. That's gonna give the nails a little bit of a tacky surface. Also, since we are incorporating some stamping, if we do mess up, that stamping polish isn't gonna absorb into those powders, and we could just gently wipe off that stamping image if we did mess up with a little bit of acetone, and we will not affect the powder that we just applied. So what I did is I picked two colors here. We're kind of doing like a little bit of an ombre gradient effect with these really fun stars. And then I'm going to clean up the image just a little bit here with a lint roller. I find the lint roller works best when I'm trying to clean up that stamper here. And now we have this really fun image here that you can incorporate not only for Memorial Day, which is right around the corner, but for the 4th of July as well. And then I just went ahead and placed that stamp image right onto that nail here. I will say that layer of the gel base, it gave that nail a little bit of a tacky surface. So then it effortlessly kind of just translated that image directly to the nail with little to no effort at all. And then to clean up the plate here, I'm taking a little bit of acetone on this cute little pineapple cotton grabber thingy here, which is adorable. And we're going to do the exact same process here on the latte nails. So both latte nails are going to have this combination here of the fun red and blue. So when you are working with the stamping polish, you do want to work fast. Once you go ahead and apply that stamping polish, go ahead and scrape that off right away, clean up your stamper, and then you can go ahead and apply that image. I will say the stamping polishes and the plates from Maniology are definitely the easiest for me. I struggle with stamping. A few years ago, I bought a stamping set from Amazon, and it was by far the most frustrating experience ever, where I kind of just threw it all away, and I was like, I'm never going back to stamping, until I was sent some Maniology products a while back ago, and I was playing with them, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to actually pick up the image with the stamper and how easy the image transferred from the stamper to the nail. So I was like, okay, I must have just had a bad experience with that brand that I bought from Amazon. But I'm telling you, if you've ever struggled with stamping, Maniology is definitely the way to go. All right, so now we're incorporating a totally different nail stamping plate, and we're pulling in some white. So we're gonna focus on the color nails here. And right here, I am trying to stamp the individual stars on this nail without kind of pressing too hard to get all 3 stars on the nail at once, because I wanted to strategically place them. So that's what I was doing right there. I was really focusing on pressing down that area of the stamper where just that 1 star was, what I wanted to use. But again, we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of white here, and then just angle that scraper down, and just with a gentle hand scrape off that remaining polish, and then roll that stamper here, and then you're going to pick up a really clean image. Now, the first couple times I tried stamping, I really had to make sure I wasn't scraping too hard or pressing that stamper too hard down and rolling it onto that plate, because if you are pressing too hard on that stamper when you're rolling it, you also may not be picking up the image. So just a delicate hand when it comes to scraping and rolling that stamper on the plate. All right, so we're adding a few more stars here to the final nail here, and I was really debating on where I was gonna line these up. So you can see here, I can see the bottom of the stamper because it has that clear bottom, so I can really see where I was placing this. The only thing I did not like, it had a couple dots on there, and that was part of the stamping plate, so I just removed those little polka dots with a little bit of acetone. And now to finish this mani, we're going to seal it in with a little bit of gel top coat. And you can see here, this gel top coat is not smudging the polish or anything like that. I did the rest of the gel top coat off camera and cured. And here's our finished set. It is perfect for upcoming Memorial Day. Now, these colors alone, like I said before, are definitely pulling in some vintage 4th of July. That denim blue, it is everything. Pomegranate, it is just like a muted, beautiful red. And then latte is just like that great, just like beautiful latte color. And it's perfect for any background, or if you love like that all over white mani, but you don't want such like a harsh white and you want to pull in a little bit more ivory, this is definitely going to be the color for you. And you can really see how the stamping just kind of enhanced the mani and the colors that we used. And it was really fun to create. So I hope you enjoyed today's simple mani. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Everything that we did use in today's video can also be found in that description box below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from Madkin Beauty. We're going to shake things up a bit. We're going to be pulling in a lot of different elements today on a set of press-ons on the shape short coffin. We're also going to be using dip liquids to start out this mani. We're going to start out today with a beautiful, it kind of reminds me of like a whole bunch of diamonds that were grounded up, and then we're left with this beautiful powder that we're going to be dipping into first. And this color right here is called Free to Sparkle. And from the coverage to the sparkle, this is definitely a unique and beautiful must-have color for your collection. Check it out. It has the most gorgeous like crystal diamond finish, and the color is everything. Now you could totally get away with one dip like you see here, but we're definitely going to build it up to 2 to give it that full, just like fine glitter blingy potential that it has to offer. And we're just gently pressing everything down. We are using dip liquids today, and you're going to get a good feel on how these dip liquids perform today Plus, we're going to be doing a little bit of kind of like a tie-dyed ombre effect. We're going to be playing with a really fun glitter to create some nail art. So we're doing a really fun, not only is this like perfect for Memorial Day kind of style mani, but this is also going to be a great idea for you to pull in some of these elements today for a 4th of July set as well. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So the first thing right now is we are dipping into Frida Sparkle. So let's dive into that beautiful color and see it in all its glory and action. And then I'm going to pop back in just a few moments when it's time to start that really fun tie-dyed ombre.
Every guy I've met, we fell in love at a bad time. Getting insecure, questioning myself on the way down. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. Right now I need to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down. But I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Grandpa used to ask why I'm single with such a pretty face. Where is your man? You should go out and chase him. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. So now I'm about to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down. But I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. I don't need anyone else. I just wanna be for myself a while, nobody else. I just need myself, take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down. But I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller.
Now it's time to incorporate some more pops of color to this set. We're going to pull in a blue and a red. We're also going to be pouring a little bit of Frida Sparkle in a cupcake liner there. I only poured a little bit because I did not want to contaminate any of that beautiful powder with the process that we're doing right now. So I applied a layer of the dip base, and now I'm taking a fluffy brush right now and we are diving into the first color, and I am just tapping the color on the nail kind of just sporadically. I want to kind of create a ombre but yet a tie-dye effect at the same time. These colors are so fun to play with. I love the sparkle. I mean, we are playing with a full-blown sparkle powders today, and I really like how that red, it's still red, but it does carry in more of like a subtle kind of a sparkle. So for 4th of July or even Memorial Day, whatever look you're going to be incorporating these colors for, or pulling in your own colors and using this for inspo, these colors scream 4th of July because of the sparkle that it has to offer. It's giving you almost like that firework kind of style mani here with just like that gorgeous shimmery fine sparkle. So we're just filling in all those areas here. I'm going to go back in with the red, and you can see here we now pulled in all those colors. So to tap off the nail, I'm going to tap off away from the cupcake liners to make sure We are keeping those colors as pure as possible here. And this is what we're working with. Now, right here, I still have a little bit of dip base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just dip this nail directly into the blue here, just to focus on that area that did not have any powder on it here. And then we're just going to go ahead and just gently press everything down. And then we have this really fun, just like tie-dyed effect here that is screaming red, white, and blue. You could do this with tons of other colors too. It's just a really fun way to add some more pops of color to your set. You could do this on one nail and have it be like an accent nail, or you could do a whole set. Options are endless. So we are dusting off here, and you can see here that the color did fade away a little bit, and that is completely normal with that first coat after you went ahead and dusted off. So we're going to build up this color even more with one more coat here. So I'm applying a layer of that dip base. This time I'm going to start with the red here. This red is so beautiful. This red would be great on its own if you love reds. This is a great red, and I love the name. It's called Little Miss Firecracker. The name is just so adorable to me. And then we're going to go back in with this gorgeous blue, and then we're always going to finish up with that beautiful white. But this is all we're doing today for that ombre. It's super easy. It's a little bit different than focusing on two colors and doing like a horizontal or a vertical. This is going to give you some more dimension and pops of color. And then we are going to go ahead and just gently press everything down. And then we're going to do this exact same thing on another nail. All right, so let's continue this beautiful fun tie-dye process. And then I'm going to pop back in just a little bit when it's time to play with a really fun glitter called Bubbly.
I might go too fast. I don't care about those limits, 'cause I want this to last like nothing ever lasts before. I might go too fast. But suddenly I feel so rich. No, I don't know nothing. Oh, I can't let this slip, no. I gotta seize the moment. Have you even noticed? Are you thinking about me? Are you thinking about me? I'm having a hard time not doing anything other than thinking about you. So are you thinking about me? 'Cause I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. Don't wanna go fast, 'cause I know that people get scared sometimes. Hope it's not this time, 'cause I might go too fast. Suddenly I feel so rich. No, I don't know nothing. Oh, I can't let this slip, no. I gotta seize the moment. Have you even noticed? Are you thinking about me? Are you thinking about me? I'm having a hard time not doing anything other than thinking about you. So are you thinking about me? 'Cause I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. I know we just met, but it feels like I know you. We love the same things. You want a house in Malibu.
Now that we're done wrapping up the tie-dye nails, I'm going to go back to that first nail. I feel like that red is just a little bit too bright and kind of just is not blending or flowing with the other colors. So I'm going to tap a little bit of that Frida sparkle right onto that nail, and then I'm going to pick up some of the other sparkle that is left behind here on my desk, and we're just going to go ahead and tap that onto the areas there just to pull in a little bit more sparkle on that red. I just feel like that red needed a little touch of sparkle just to kind of just tie everything together. And I'm so glad I did that because it kind of completed the whole look for me. So we're just going to gently press that all down here, and then we are completely done with the tie-dyed nails after this. And now we're moving on to bubbly. Now bubbly you can use as a dip powder itself, but I'm going to pull some of the elements out. There are these really fun ring-shaped glitters in here that are just so fun and unique, and I felt like that would be a really fun way to incorporate some more dimension and kind of a little bit just a funner style mani today by playing with these glitters here. So right now I am applying some of these circular glitters to the nail. I'm just kind of figuring out the design right now. I don't really have like a vision in mind. I just know I want to incorporate these somehow. So I was like, we're going to play with a lot of different things today, from that ombre tie-dye thing here that we just did, and we're going to play with these. So we're doing a lot today. So I realized I didn't want to play with the smaller piece of glitter, at least on this nail right here. So now I'm just carefully removing that one smaller piece here, and we're going to focus on these bigger rings right here, and we're going to overlap them so they kind of look like they're kind of connected, but they are so fun. So this is the look that we're going for the thumbnail. And then to make sure that these are laying really flat, I'm going to take a little bit of dip base and just apply it to the top of those glitter pieces, and just really make sure I am getting those exactly where I want them. And then I'm going to use the flat side of that cuticle pusher for that orange wood stick and just really make sure that those circular pieces are laying super flat. And I will say, I ordered circular glitter pieces from Amazon, and they were not this thin. They were almost nearly impossible to get like flat to the nail. I even tried like curving them, and I still was having issues. They were like very thick. These ones are very thin, and they are just almost becoming one with the nail. So they're very thin, they're not thick, and they're the perfect color. They're almost like, I mean, the name is bubbly, so that is probably why they are like this beautiful champagne gold color. I feel like you can do so many things with this, from different art styles like we're doing right now. So that thumbnail, we only used 3, but on this middle nail, I had so much fun placing them. I kind of got a little carried away. I kind of just put a whole bunch on this nail, and I am not regretting it. I love it so much. I feel like this beautiful champagne gold color that we have going on here too really just complements that beautiful white background that we have, that is giving us like that crushed diamond effect. So I just feel like these colors together are just everything. And I love these circular glitters. They're really fun. This would be really fun for summer as well, kind of incorporating like an under the sea kind of style mani. I mean, options are endless. So now that I went ahead and I applied these circular glitters to the nail, you will notice that I have not went back in with the dip base yet. So that is a good indicator on the dry time of these liquids. So if you are someone who likes to hand place glitters or do any extra nail art, these are really great liquids to have, because you're going to be able to do a lot of different glitter placement and nail art with these dip liquids, because they're not that like extreme fast dry time. I will say, when you are using them and dipping into the powder and doing a full coverage dip, they are a quick dry time, but you do have a little bit of leeway here when you are applying and hand placing glitters. All right, so same thing. We applied some dip base directly on top of those circles here, just to give it a little extra barrier of protection. And now I'm just finalizing the setting of where I want these circles to be. And I just love how like that overlapping look it's just like melting my whole heart. And I also did make sure that those glitter pieces were laying flat with that flat end of the orange wood stick. I just cut that out just to save some time. Now we're moving on to the pinky nail here. So this one for me, I know I wanted to focus on the larger circles, because that was like the whole kind of look we were going for today. And I was like, I don't know where I want to place these. So I like that I have with this dip base, I like that I have this option right here to move around these glitters freely, so I can get a good visual to see how I want these glitters to lay. So that is definitely something that I do enjoy with these liquids. And even if you aren't a dip liquid fan, or you have like your ride or die, but you always have to go in with your dip liquids when you're playing with nail art, definitely just pick up this dip base and just use it for any glitter placement or nail art, because it is a game changer. It's not stressful. You don't have to like worry about like rushing to beat the clock because you know it's gonna dry, and you do have that wiggle room to just move around those glitters freely. All right, so now I was like, I kind of want to place some more glitters on here, I know. So we're gonna go ahead and add a little design here at the tip of the nail as well, and then we're gonna be almost done here in just a minute. But these circular glitters are really fun. Definitely recommend. Again, like I said before, I tried circular glitters in the past and they just were too thick, and these are very thin and they almost become one with the nail, almost. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of dip base on that area of the glitter as well, just to give it a little bit of extra protection here, and just using that flat part of the orange wood stick. And then we're going to go ahead and clear encapsulate everything. I'm only going to show you this one nail here just to save time, because we spent a lot of time today doing some fun, dabbling into some like fun artsy kind of side of things today. All right, so the clear encapsulation, we are using the Pure Diamond Clear from Madkin Beauty. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to spend some time pressing everything down, just like the same method I do when I am using any dip powder with dip liquids or the gel method. And I'm really making sure all that dip liquid is absorbed before we move on to the activator. And then we're going to go ahead and activate each nail. And the activation process, especially on these circular glitters, was pretty magical, because you could see this beautiful like rose gold shine just like come to life. Now for filing and buffing was surprisingly very, very easy when it came to these circular glitters. Like, my mind is kind of blown at the moment. So right now I'm just taking this file and really working underneath that press on, making sure we have a clean surface, so then we have a smooth application when it's time to apply. Then I'm taking this buffer file. I love the buffer file. I feel like I have more control when it comes to buffing versus using like a little orange block, because this buffer file is the same like size as like a regular file. So I feel like you have a little bit more control. So filing and buffing, we did not cut into any of those circular glitters, which I was super shocked by. And then we just cleaned up the rest of that nail, and I did the rest of the filing and buffing off camera. And then even though we are going to seal it in with a layer of gel top coat, I'm still going to go in with a layer of activator. That's going to get rid of any filing and buffing lines, and then any powders that we may disrupted during that filing and buffing process are going to be sealed back in. So I was completely blown away that I did not cut into any of those circular glitters, especially on that middle nail, because we stacked so many of those circular glitters together, but they stayed true to color. So I finished the rest of the top coat off camera, and here's what we're working with. It's overall a really fun set. I had so much fun playing with new things, like playing with those circular glitters, having fun pulling in color to do this like tie-dye ombre. And then we played with a really beautiful must-have beautiful glitter called Free to Sparkle on 3 of those nails. So we did a lot today, and today was more of like, let's play with different elements and pull them all together just to create a fun set. Sometimes you need to do nails or sets that just like speak to you and just have fun with it. At the end of the day, they're nails and you could always change it up, but this is just a fun set, and I really feel like those circles really just bring a lot of dimension and just like a pop of art to the nail as well. So overall, so much fun. So everything that we did use in today's video can always be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be using new dip powders from Stand Nails. Now these 2 colors here are part of a newer collection that was just released, and they are UV changing color, and these are the Animal series. You can get these colors in the whole entire collection or individually, but to start off, we're going to start by using Mary. This is going to be our accent nail, and anytime that I'm working with white dip powders, I always like to do that accent nail first, just to make sure I'm keeping that white as pure as possible. And we are using dip liquids today. I know some of you might be shocked because I've been on a gel method kick here for a while, and check out how full coverage Mary is. It's very beautiful. It is white. It is a pure white. It is not chalky. It is not patchy, and there's a twist to it. It also glows in the dark blue, so it's very pretty and really just a great staple color. White for any nail art or transfer foils or decals. It's a great background and I love it so much, so I went with the 1 ounce jar. And that brush that you see me using today is also from Sundara Nails. It is a really nice fluffy brush for dusting away any of that extra dip powder or filing dust. And then back to these dip liquids here. These are the regular dip liquids from Sundara Nails, and I can already tell you that I'm completely obsessed with these dip liquids for 2 reasons. First of all, let me just touch base really quick here. I'm all over the place on this dip powder here. So this beautiful color that you're seeing right here, it is a golden yellow, and it is such a pretty yellow, and it is golden tortoise beetle, and I really like this color here. It is beautiful, and wait till you see the transformation. Okay, so back to these dip liquids. The brush is amazing. It fans out so awesome on the nail. I really like how it fans out. And these dip powders have a very low odor. It is not overpowering at all. To be honest with you, I really had to put my nose into the bottle. I do not recommend that at all to see if it was a scent, because at first I was confused if I was using the odorless ones. I was like, did I grab the wrong ones? But I didn't. And that's another reason why I really like these liquids, because I tend to have some sensitivity to dip liquids. And it all kind of started after my second pregnancy. I noticed that the liquids were bothering me, and I was like, is it just because I'm pregnant? No, it was because I'm a little sensitive to dip liquids, but these do not have a strong scent at all. Okay, so you already saw that beautiful UV changer with that one dip. Isn't that so fun? So it came out to like a burgundy red, and we're going to continue to build up this fun, beautiful yellow. So you can see here 2 dips versus 1. It's just a really fun golden yellow. Now this yellow right here is going to be perfect. I know a lot of you are enjoying the summer right now, but this is going to be a great color for fall because of how golden yellow this is. It's a very pretty yellow, and then this color right here, how it changes to like this burgundy red, that is why this is going to be a great color for fall. Okay, so now we're moving on to another beautiful color here, and I am really excited about this one. I think it's simply beautiful. It is called Pacific Tree Frog, and it is a great color here, and you're going to see that this even looks great on its own. Check it out. I had to do like a double take because it is giving me like sea glass kind of vibes with this beautiful color. Now, Tree Frog, it has like a very pretty slight green undertone to it. It's very beautiful, and wait till you see the color change on this one as well. So these new dip powders were recently released. There are 9 dip powders in this collection, and here's what it looks like indoors, and then check it out. It is awesome, right? Look at that color change. These are very, very sensitive to light, so when you go outside, you are going to see immediate results. Okay, so check it out. With that shine, with that base over it, I mean, that dip powder looks good even on its own, right? So we're going to go ahead and continue this and do 2 coats here and dust it off in between. Also, when I am dipping over my second layer of dip, I am going to go ahead and wipe off that brush before I go ahead and stick it back in the bottle to prevent any contamination. So here's the finished mani before we do anything else to it. We are going to jazz up that white nail right there in just a moment. But before we get into that, any of the nail art, we're going to go in with the activator. We're going to do the filing and buffing. Then we're going to reactivate, and then we're going to finish off with the amazing shine that this dip liquids top coat has to offer. You're going to see it in action, but enough chit chat. Let's dive into the next steps, and then I will pop back in when it's time to start some fun nail art. right, so here's the mani before we do any nail art. It's even beautiful on its own, but we're gonna do some under the sea kind of mani, and we're gonna do some seaweed here. So we're gonna use these two colors, and we're gonna use the brush cleaner. So I'm gonna take a little bit of Nightcrawler here and place it on this nail art brush, which is also from Sundara Nails, and I'm just gonna make some little swipes up, going upwards on that nail there, starting off on the tip to kind of create like a seaweed kind of look. Really not making any lines in particular. They can be straight, they can be squiggly, they can be whatever your heart desires, because again, this is supposed to be like a seaweedy look. And then to clean off this brush, I am taking that brush cleaner from Sundara Nails, and I am just swirling that brush on that little baggie there, and then I'm going to wipe it off with a lint-free wipe, and then my brush is clean and good to go. And we're going to use the pudding gel, and this is from the Advent calendar. Now I've been using this green a lot. It's a very awesome green. This Advent calendar is still available, and it's at a discounted price, so if you haven't picked it up yet, you need this in your life, especially if you want to dabble in pudding gels. These are great colors to have for your collection. But this green here is amazing, and it's also a pudding gel, so it's giving it a little bit more texture on that nail, and I really like how it turned out. And I'm going to clean up that brush and again wipe it off with a lint-free wipe. Now I like doing my gels on a plastic baggie for nail art, because then I can just fold it up and put it away. So now we are going to add some fun under the sea nail art stickers here, which honestly was really hard to pick, but I wanted to stay with this little fish here because I felt like it complemented the two colors here. And then after I place that on the nail, I'm going to take a little silicone tool and I'm going to rub that sticker into the nail to make sure that it is laying super flat to the nail. And then I felt like, even though we just placed the seaweed on here, I felt like we needed to overlap it with a little starfish, and I'm just kind of figuring out the best placement possible for this little guy. So that is what I'm doing right here, and these little tweezers are definitely coming in handy, especially if you like to do little increment nail art. That's going to be your jam. Okay, so here is what we're working with right now. It's so cute on its own, but I wanted to use June, which is the reflective glitter, to mix in with another color called Dream Blue for just a little bit of bubble. So I'm going to dip the dotting tool into Dream Blue and then into June, and then we're just going to do a little bit of bubbles. I just wanted a little bit of reflective glitter on these bubbles, just a little bit, just a touch of sparkle, right? And I'm using the dotting tool, and I'm just placing these little dots kind of sporadically on the nail, but closer to the little sea creatures. And then I was like, we need some white. So we're going to go in with some plain white just to add a little bit more dimension to this mani and kind of just tie in this under the sea mani here. And I just think that this nail art was super fun. It's simple, but yet it's a touch of nail art and some stickers, and it's just so cute. I really like how it turned out, and it was so much fun to create here. And then to finish up this nail here, even though we did use the dip liquids for the top coat on the dip powder nails, this nail art one, I did want to seal it up with my gel top coat, and then I cured that nail, just that one, for 60 seconds. And here's the finished mani. I think it's adorable. It's so cute. These UV changing dip powders are so fun. They are perfect for summer and heading into that fall season. Believe it or not, these are going to be great colors. And then that pop of nail art is just super cute and kind of giving me summer vibes with that under the sea look here. And don't forget, Mary glows in the dark, and that background's going to be blue, so it's going to be like a whole under the water mani with that one simple accent nail. And then here is that UV changer when you're outside. These colors are bright, vibrant. They're not patchy at all. They are so fun. If you haven't tried any thermal change dip powders, you need to. And these are really good colors because they're going to complement so many different skin tones, and they're going to be great for all year long. So just super fun and very cute. I really like how this turned out. So I will go ahead and link everything that we used in today's mani in that description box below. And I hope you enjoy this mani and this simple nail art. And I will see you all in the next upload. Hi everyone, everyone, welcome back. For today's set, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from Nails Truly & Co. and we're going to create a very simple 4th of July set today on the shape Short Coffin. We're also going to pull in the gel method today. So we're going to dive right into these powders. Now these powders, in my opinion, are super, super high quality. The coverage is everything. So you're going to see how amazing this formula is and how beginner friendly these dip powders are. And they are just so finely milled that they melt into the nail. As long as you're focusing on doing very thin, even layers of your application of your dip liquid or your gels, you're gonna be super successful with these powders because they are super beginner friendly. And check out that coverage right here. I'm admiring it and I'm like, are we gonna cure it and do a second coat? But we are, because I really want you to see the full impact of these powders. But I cannot get over the coverage of this nail. Now, if you're not worried about structure or building up that color, if this is going to be like an accent nail for like a decal or nail art, you could easily get away with that first coat. But we are going to be adding a decal to this nail. I originally wasn't. I was going to keep this set without any extra added nail art and just keep it really simple. But then I was like, we needed to pull in just a little bit of blueness to this set. So we're going to incorporate a decal. So I'm just making sure everything is pressed down, and then I am going to cure for 30 seconds. If you are using dip liquids, you do not need to cure. If you are looking for nail lamp suggestions, I do have everything that you see in this video in that description box below, along with some nail lamp options. All right, so we're going into the next color here. I feel like these colors are not, or this brand in general, when you think of Nails Truly, you automatically think of decals, and you don't really realize like that they offer other things like really amazing cuticle oils and dip powders, and the dip powders are so top notch. I just love them, and every time I play with them, I'm like, why am I not playing with these more? So that is exactly why I pulled these out. We did the June subscription bag, which you can still get right now. We did that unboxing in Manny a few weeks ago, right in the beginning of June. And I was like, we need to play with more of these amazing powders. Now, these powders just came out. They are part of the 4th of July collection. And there are some really adorable 4th of July decals to go with them as well. And you can pick and choose. You can get the colors individually, and then you can pick your decal sheets as well. And even though these are new 4th of July colors, in my opinion, these are great colors just to have in your collection. If you are new to dipping and looking to build up that collection, these are great colors to add because you can incorporate them with mostly any colors. And plus, this one right here, Crack Boom, has like the most gorgeous, like subtle shimmer to it. It's really pretty and I just love it. It's kind of like a silver, but yet it's not like that overpowering silver. It's just a very light, delicate color. I love this so much. So we're going to cure that nail. We're moving on to Fireworks, which Fireworks is really unique and beautiful at the same time. It has these really pretty like iridescent white glitters in there, but then it has these really awesome, and I never seen foils like this in a powder before. And these are really unique and very, very easy to use. Yes, it looks a little intimidating right here. You're like, oh, your nail looks like a hot mess. But with a little bit of love, we're just going to just effortlessly press these down ever so gently. And everything is just going to take shape to the nail. These foils are fantastic. I don't know what kind of foils these are. They're cut very, very tiny, but yet they're not as thin as like your traditional foils. There's something magical about them, and I honestly, if all foils were like this, I would use foils way more often. But super beautiful. I'm just making sure everything is laying super, super flat here. Now remember, when you're working with the gel method, the more time you make sure everything is laying flat, the less filing and buffing you are going to have. So I'm going to take a little precision tool and just clean up the underneath side of this press-on nail to make sure that we have no little loose straggler foils hanging around. And this is also going to ensure that we have a clean underneath surface for the nail when we transfer it on to our natural nail. All right, so I'm just finishing up and making sure everything is laying flat. And then I only did one dip of this. I was going to do two, but I really liked the placement and how everything was looking. So I did not want to wreck how this nail looked because I felt like it was like a whole statement in itself. So we're going to cure that for 30 seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and dust off. And this is when I was like, yep, I love this nail. We're going to keep it just like this. It's very beautiful. See how after we cured it, it kind of has like this like champagne-y gold to it. It's not like that harsh gold. I love that kind of gold. All right, so now we're moving into Foxtrot, which is a really beautiful red. So to me, a couple things when you're looking for quality of dip powder. A lot of times when you are working with mauve colors, purples, darker maroon pinks, or reds, they do not work with the gel method. And if you've ever tried dipping with the gel method when you're working in that color family and notice that the color significantly got darker, or you notice like dark splotches over it after you cured, or it looks brown, that is because the dip powders in that gel did not work well together. So I was very curious, and I was kind of gambling here because we're doing 2 nails in Foxtrot. So if it didn't work out, I was going to be like, ooh, what are we going to do now? Because I did use the gel method on this entire mani. But I can tell you right now that that is one of the reasons why I love Nails Truly & Co. powders, because they work fantastic with the gel method. So I did not experience any of that darkening or changing of the color with the gel method. The nails stayed true to color, and that is something that I look for in a company, because if you are buying dip powders and you want to make sure that whatever method you are using, that they are going to perform how you envision. And that is one thing that stays true to the quality control when it comes to Nails Truly, is that you are getting very high quality when it comes to the decals and the dip powders and the cuticle oils. So right now we are just pressing everything down here, and I love the coverage. It's not splotchy. You can see here it's not streaky. It's not patchy. I love the coverage of these powders. It's a very magical experience in my opinion when you're playing with these, because they're just like very easy to use. Like, that's why I would consider these very beginner friendly. All right, so I'm doing a very thin layer of that gel base, and if you do get a little staining on your brush, it is a red, just go ahead and wipe that brush off on a paper towel before sticking it back in the bottle, just to prevent any contamination. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and build up this color in this color, Foxtrot. First of all, the name is perfect for this color, but the color is even like more beautiful built up with that second coat here. So I'm just making sure all that gel base is completely absorbed here, and then I'm going to show you the color difference of the 2 dips versus one, because it is a total game changer. That color is just very rich, and I really like, kind of has like this like slight darkness to it. Very pretty and beautiful. So right here, 1 dip versus 2, you can see here it is definitely more vibrant. So real quick, I wanted to touch base on my upload schedule. So if you're an OG and you've been here for a while, you're probably wondering where I have been. So I definitely did cut down on my uploads for the summer season and kind of into 2024. So I am, for the summer season, I am going to post 1 video a week. Sometimes I will do 2, and then when we transition into fall, I will do 2 videos a week. If you are old school to my channel is about 3 years old now, and the first 2 years of my channel I did a video just like this every day for 2 years, and out of the 2 years of filming every day, I only missed 21 videos, and that was because I was having babies at that time. And I also did film, and if you are a total OG on my channel, I also was filming for a set of time for about 2.5 months while I was in the hospital as well. So we've been doing a lot here on my channel, but for summer, I just kind of wanted to take a little bit of time to really enjoy the weather and hanging out with my boys. They are 1 and 2 years old, so they're very close in age, and summer is very, very shortly lived here in Wisconsin. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time just to focus on the kiddos, and we're still going to do nail stuff here, but we're going to do 1 to 2 videos a week just for summer, and then we'll get back on schedule. When it comes to the fall time, I still will post 2 videos a week. I really like that balance for me. It just works really well on my schedule. Plus, then we can really enjoy the nail stuff that we're doing here, and we're not oversaturating anyone and overwhelming you with all those powders out there. All right, so the filing and buffing was super easy. Everything is laying super flat. That's all I did there. You can see there, I just cleaned up the sidewalls and just reshaped ever so slightly. I did not need a buff on top of any of these nails because everything was laying that flat. So I did a layer of gel base. I cured for 30 seconds, and now we're gonna add a decal. Now originally I was not gonna add any decals, but I was like, okay, we need a touch of nail art on here. So what simple way to add nail art that is effortless by adding a decal. So I have that decal cut out. I put it in room temperature water for about 15 seconds. I like to use a jelly stamper because I can easily remove that paper backing like you just saw there. Plus I have a clear backing so I can really see where I'm lining up that nail here, and that is one of the reasons why I like to use a jelly stamper, so I can kind of see where I am placing that decal even though I can move it around effortlessly after I apply it to the nail, because we did do a layer of gel base on all the nails that is cured for 30 seconds. And applying that layer of gel base not only is going to provide you a little bit of wiggle room when you're working with a delicate decal, but it's also going to give you a little bit of a tacky, sticky layer so you can really get that decal to lay super flat. So now I'm just taking this little silicone tip here just to press down that decal here. And then what we're going to do is, to make sure that it is laying super flat, we're going to go in with a little bit of acetone, and this is the acetone that I feel like works best with decals. It is the 100% pure acetone by Onyx. Do not get the blue one. There's like a blue coconut one. The Onyx brand works best. I've tried like the huge gallon from Sally's Beauty Shop of the pure acetone, and it did not work as well as the Onyx brand. It actually was dissolving the decal pretty quickly and distorting the image. I've had the best of luck with this brand. All right, so I'm taking a flat brush and I am just going in with a little bit of acetone here. And when I stick that brush in the acetone, I am always dabbing that brush off on that lint-free wipe before going directly into that decal. And that decal now is completely flat. It got rid of any lines, it got rid of any wrinkles. It makes the decal become one with the nail. And once that decal is dry, I went ahead and tapped my finger on it just to make sure it was laying flat. Look at that. It is completely flat. And now we're going to go ahead and seal in this decal with a layer of gel top coat. If you're more comfortable, you could do a layer of gel base first, cure for 30 seconds, and then go in with your top coat. So I'm going to finish up the rest of the top coat off camera on the rest of the nails, cure for 60 seconds. And here's the finished mani. I love it. It's kind of like a rustic country 4th of July style mani. I really love how like it's very simple. I love simple manis because you can really appreciate the colors. Plus with that fireworks nail, I feel like that's a statement piece in itself. And I really like the touch of the decal. I love the play of the bumblebee and how it has that American vibe to it, but so fun, very simple to achieve. These colors you can see here are so beautiful, and the coverage was everything. You can see here, this was a very, in my opinion, an effortless mani because we had just everything was melting to the nail. We had very great coverage. We had very minimal filing and buffing. So to me, that was very easy, but I just loved how these powders performed. If these colors were not your cup of tea, head over to Nails Truly. There are tons of beautiful colors that she has to offer, and stay tuned. There's even more beautiful colors coming this week, so I cannot wait for that, and we'll play with those here on my channel. But don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Again, everything that we use in today's video can be found in that description box below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be playing with gels from Stand Nails. We're going to be creating a spring flower mani on a set of press-ons in the shape medium almond. But before we get into that flower gel, we're going to play with a little bit of a sparkle polish right here. This is Jewel, and it's so pretty. It is part of the Diamond collection, and it's just like the most beautiful, cram-packed, micro reflective, just like the perfect diamond dust glitter that you've ever seen. And it's so pretty. The sparkle is definitely there. The camera is not doing this color justice because this color is everything. So that's what the first coat looks like. It has like this hue of like a blue base, and then it carries in all that beautiful sparkle. So when you are playing with these, the formula is a tad bit thicker than like your standard traditional like color from Stand Nails, like a solid or just like a slight shimmer or pearl. So it has a little bit of a thickness to it, which is really easy to work with. You're just going to go ahead and cover that entire nail. But before you cure, just go ahead and let that nail just sit so it can just self-level a little bit, and all those glitters will lay super flat. Then cure for 30 seconds, and it's gonna give you a really effortless, flawless finish. These are really easy to work with. Do not let just like that tad bit of a thicker formula trip you up, because these glitters are so rewarding, and the sparkle is everything. They're very, very easy to use, and if you love glitter, any of these colors from the Diamond collection are definitely going to be your jam. So right now we are going to go in with a second coat here, and that's when you're really going to see like this beautiful color just come to life, and the sparkle gets even better. I know you're like, how can it get any better? But we're layering more of those beautiful like micro glitters onto this nail here. It's going to give you tons of different dimension, what way the light hits it. And check it out. It is so pretty. I love it so much. 2 coats is definitely key when you're playing with these, just to build up that color. Like you can see here, the 2 coats versus 1, and it's going to build up that beautiful, beautiful sparkle. And this color right here, it's perfect for any time of year, but I wanted to do pull in some blues and really play with these flower gels today. So I figured this color right here was the right amount of sparkle that we needed to go with our really pretty delicate flower mani today. But you could pair any glitter with this mani that we're doing right now. If you love pinks, you could definitely pull in some pinks. Whatever glitter you go with, options are definitely going to be endless. These are also really great for any kind of nail art as well, because it has like those fine glitters, and since it's such a saturated formula with those glitters, it's going to give you a really nice pickup when you are using your nail art brush to do a little bit of nail art with these. All right, so this is what we're working with. We're jumping right into Blue Moon. Blue Moon it's pretty magical in itself. I love the solid colors from Sundara Nails. They're very, very opaque, great coverage on the first coat. And the Moon collection I really like because it's a white base, but yet it has a slight hint of color to it. So this one right here has a slight blueness to it. And so you have like that beautiful white base, which is perfect for like any nail art or adding the flowers like we're doing today. And then you have like that slight blue hue kind of just coming through. So we're going to cure for 30 seconds. And since I really like the coverage and how the application applied, we're only going to do 1 coat of Blue Moon today. If you wanted to build it up, or if you're looking to build up strength and you're not making a set of press-ons and you're doing this on your natural nail, you definitely could go in with 2, but I love the coverage of these Moon polishes, and 1 is all we needed. All right, so we cured. Here's what we're working with. This looks good just by itself, but now it's time to add some of those flowers. All right, so the gel is in a pot. This pot is really beautiful, and then you can see it has this beautiful blueness to it, and then we have some blue flowers. So right now I want to show you the consistency of this. We're going to be using a flat brush as well from Sundara Nails, but the consistency of this, it's a very thin consistency, and a little bit will go a long way. This is something that you want to work with in small amounts and build it up. I'm going to show you how we're going to apply it here in just a minute, but it's really, really fun. Let me just tell you that. If you love gels and you play with gels all the time, and then, like that glitter was just a tad bit thicker, and now we're playing with something that's a little bit thinner, it's just really fun to play with like different viscosities. So right now I'm taking a little bit of that product on the flat brush and just a little bead here, and then I'm going in a circular motion here to apply it. The circular motion, you're just like lightly hovering over the product onto the nail and just kind of using that circular motion to just gently glide the product on the entire nail. That's the method that works best for me when applying this, especially with that thin viscosity, because what's going to happen if you went in and just went ahead and brushed it, you're going to get some patchy streaks, and then you're not going to get that full potential of the flower petals that we're looking at right now. So this is really fun. You have like flower petals, you have stems, you have leaves. It's just really pretty in a delicate formula. So I'm going to keep right now just building that up here and just doing those circular motions until I'm satisfied with the coverage here. And again, a little bit of the product goes a long way. Now this is like a clear blue base, so if you wanted to do this without any like base color, you definitely could. It would just be more of a lighter, less dramatic effect versus how we have like that blue moon as the base here. But options are endless when you're playing with this. So I'm going to continue building it up here, and I'm focusing that product on the middle here, and I'm just doing little beads here. And every time I go into that jar and pick up some more product, I am picking up more of those flowers here. Now I'm going to show you another way here, because I don't want to make this nail too bulky, because what's going to happen is that if we keep adding more of this product, since it is such a thin consistency, we're really going to pull up that nail, and then it's going to just, you know, naturally kind of go down on the nail and kind of give you some bulk. So to prevent that and prevent building up any more of that product, I took a little bit of that product and put it on a paper towel. And now what I'm doing is that paper towel is absorbing that gel product, and then I can really just focus on the flower elements that are in this jar. So now I'm using an orange wood stick. I am using that cuticle pusher side of the orange wood stick, and I am just gently picking up those flowers here, and then I can just fill in areas on the nail where I want to focus on more of those flowers. I will say this formula is really easy to work with once you get the hang of how to apply it. Now, before you go in and start using the product on your manicure that you just spent time on, you could always practice on a swatch stick or practice on, I'm using jelly tips right now for our press-on set, but the sizes that you don't use, you could also practice on that, just so you could practice like gliding and hovering that product over the nail. But once you get the hang of it, it is super easy to use, and I really like just like the effect of like the beautiful flowers. It's something different, and I really like it. And you wouldn't think that these flowers, since they do have a little bit of dimension to them, that you would think they would kind of like stick up in the nail, but everything is just laying super flat. It's a very magical experience. So now that we added those flowers, I'm going to go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds, and we're going to dive into the other nail. So for this nail, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to pick up a bigger bead of product, and this time we're going to work with a bigger bead. So the first nail that we did, we worked with smaller beads and then slowly built up that nail. This time we're working with a bigger bead, and I started right below the cuticle line, and I am just working that product down on the nail. Again, you are just gliding in a circular motion that product on the nail, and you're filling in all those areas with a very delicate hand, and the swirling motion is definitely key when you are working with this formula. I will say I do like both ways. So this way we added a bigger bead, and you can see we have more coverage of that product, and it took less time. But I do like picking up the smaller beads and working my way down on the nail, because when you are picking up those smaller beads, you are getting more of those flower elements on the nail. But either way, we're still going to go ahead and hand place more of those flower pieces onto the nail to just fill in those areas. But overall, a really fun product. All right, so let's finish up this nail here, and then I'm going to pop back in just a few moments. All right, we're just wrapping up the hand placement here of those flowers. We're going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And then after we cure, we're going to go ahead and finish up this mani with a layer of gel top coat. I personally do not experience any flaking or peeling if I just go in with a layer of gel top coat and cure for 60 seconds. But if you do experience flaking or peeling, go in with a layer of gel base, cure for 30 seconds, then finish up with your top coat. I did the rest of the nails off camera. And then here's our finished mani. It is sparkly, it is flowery, it is full of spring. I love this blue carried through. It's definitely giving me the spring blue kind of vibes here. And those flowers are so pretty. There's something about glitter and flowers combined, just like melting my whole heart right now. But a very easy mani. The only thing a little bit tedious that we did today was just hand placing those flowers, but overall so fun and definitely rewarding. I really liked how this mani turned out. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be using dip powders and gels from Bling Galleria, and we're going to be creating a camouflage leopard print tie-dye kind of style mani. We're going to be doing some ombre in here, so we're going to be using these ombre brushes, and then we're going to be doing the gel method for the mani today. Now I'm going to show you this mani on one nail only from start to finish, so you can see how to create this mani, because we're going to be doing the same steps on every single nail, and then to save time, so we're not sitting here forever watching me do some ombre on the nail forever. I thought we would just focus on the one nail here. Okay, so we're going to start out here. You can see here I am tapping on that white dip powder on the nail, and I'm kind of just placing it wherever I want the white to be. Again, we want it to be like a camouflage tie-dye look, so we're just kind of sporadically placing it on the nail. And then I also went ahead, and you can see here, instead of putting that brush into the actual dip powder jar, I went ahead and just put a little bit of the dip powder in a cupcake liner, because when I am doing ombre, I will admit it does get a little bit messy. I mean, that's just me. I am like go all out with my ombre. You will see here like the final outcome of how it all looked like after I was done ombreing, and I don't want to risk contaminating any of my other dip powders, so that's why I just go ahead and just put a little bit of the powder here in the cupcake liner to help prevent contamination. Now we went in with that red, and now I wanted just to brighten up that white a little bit. Now white pearl is amazing. You've seen this dip powder here in action. It is stunning. And then we have blue Hawaiian, which is the perfect bright blue, and all the colors that we are using today have a slight shimmer to it. They're very pretty. So again, we are just going ahead and placing that dip powder on the nail and just gently tapping it on to that nail just to create that effect that we are going for here. And you can start with any color that you want when you are doing an ombre. Now to tap off this nail, I am tapping it off on the side, so I'm not tapping it on that cupcake liner. And here's what it looks like right now with one dip. It's really pretty, right? Okay, so here is what it looks like with one dip with all the nails, and you can see here in the background, it's a little bit messy, but I'm totally here for it. Okay, and it's worth it in the end. So I went ahead and brushed off that nail, and now we're gonna go ahead and do another layer of ombreing with these dip powders. Now, Bling Galleria has a very, very pigmented dip powder, and you can easily get away with one coat of this, but I just really wanted it to kind of flow a little bit better with my ombre, so that's why I'm doing another coat. But her dip powders are amazing, and her powders are perfect for ombre because a little bit does go a long way, and they're just so full of pigment. And you're not going to get, like, sometimes when you do some ombre with dip powders, you get like a lot of acrylic. You're getting the pure color with Bling Galleria's dips, which is amazing. Okay, so now instead of starting with that white like we did when we first went in originally with this ombre, I'm going to start with the red first. So we started with the red, and you want to place the dip powder pretty much in the same area you did the first time. And then because otherwise it's going to start looking very muddy. And another reason why I started with the red first and then the blue is because I wanted it to really be more abstract and really float together with a really pretty like ombre camouflage look like I was going for, to help it prevent from being muddy as well. Otherwise, if I would have started with the white first and then the red and the blue, it would have not had like this really pretty radiant effect. So that is why I am alternating the colors that I went with. And you can do this kind of technique with any colors. It doesn't have to be red, white, or blue, but I thought these colors were like the perfect twist. It's also giving me like rainbow margarita vibes when I'm looking at this. But I just wanted to do like a 4th of July patriotic mani with a twist, and I wanted to add some leopard spots. So that's what we're doing right here. So we're just adding some of that white, and then we are going to tap that off, and I am going to add a little bit more of that red there. And you can see when you are doing the gel method, you will notice the spots that are still wet where you can add more of that dip powder. So here it is with 2 coats. I love it so much. I cured that for 30 seconds and I brushed it off, and it is just so pretty and radiant, and it's just everything. It's really fun. I had a lot of fun doing the ombre on these nails. So now the fun part, we are going to be using these Bling Galleria leopard spots, and I'm just going to do a little bit here on that paper towel. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a layer of gel base all over the entire nail, and I am not going to cure it. And if you haven't tried Bling Galleria's base or top coat, I know I talk about it all the time, and you've been seeing this product on my channel a lot in action. It is amazing, especially for the gel method. So I'm going to use this precision tool from Bling Galleria. It has the best wax tip on here. The wax tip, it's not too hard, it's not too soft. You could actually use it as a wax tip, and I love it so much. So now we have that gel base on there that is not cured. I'm going ahead and I am placing these leopard prints all over the nail in just kind of a pattern however you want it to do. Now I'm fixing it so like I have like some of the leopard print going one way and then the other side of that leopard print going in a different direction, just to really give it some depth. But these leopard print spots are so fun. They're very thin, actually. They look, it's kind of hard to tell on camera what they look like, but they're very thin, and they do lay really flat to the nail, and I like them. I think they're so fun, and I'm obsessed with animal print, so these are just really, really fun to play with. So then after that, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off that gel product on that wax tip, and then to add a little bit more depth, I'm going to take some gel. This is totally optional. This is just black gel polish. It's HEMA free, and I have it on a dotting tool, and I'm just adding some more black to this just for some depth. And I am doing it directly onto that wet base, because what's going to happen is that it's going to kind of just flow together with that base because it's not cured yet. So you're going to get like a different type of look versus like it just being like these random like dots and lines that I'm placing on the nail. Because that base is still wet, you're gonna get kind of like a ballooning effect, if that makes sense. But the gel polish is totally optional, but I went ahead and cured that, and then I sealed this mani with gel top coat, and here it is. It is so fun. You can see here that those leopard prints are all different patterns on each nail. That middle nail is all leopard print, and then I just love how it turned out. I think it's so pretty and fun. Wait till you see the pictures. It's really hard to like get this like leopard print goodness on camera because I feel like I'm blinding you with the light right now, but it's so pretty, and this gel top coat really gives it the perfect shine. I just had so much fun with this mani. I think it's so perfect. It's different. It's giving me all these patriotic camouflage kind of vibes. It's also giving me bomb pop vibes. I'm loving it so much, and these leopard prints are like the perfect special touch. So I will go ahead and link everything that we use in today's mani in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed this mani as much as I did. Again, if you haven't checked out Bling Galleria, head over to the Etsy shop. There's tons of beautiful colors. You're going to find something that catches your eye, and I will see you all in the next upload. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be playing with dip powders from Valkyrie Dips. We're going to do a refreshing, beachy kind of mani here on a set of press-ons on the shape Short Coffin. We're also going to be using all dip liquids today, so we are not going to be using any gels. All right, so I'm just doing a very thin layer of dip base on the entire nail. I like to start right below that cuticle line and then work that product up. And I do like to use the cupcake method. I mean, you totally could dip into that jar, but I feel like I have more wiggle room with that cupcake liner and more space to prevent like any bumping. So right now we have a really beautiful color. So this is a darker blue, but it's not like a pure navy. It's still like that refreshing blue. And then we're going to pair it with a really fun terrazzo piece dip that's going to just kind of give like a whole beachy, refreshing look. At least that's what it looked like to me once this whole set was completed. But that is the game plan for today. We're going to end up doing 2 coats of each. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks when you're playing with those terrazzo piece glitters as well. So that is the game plan for today. All right, so let's dive into Clean Slate here for a few moments and enjoy all its beauty in action. And then I'm going to pop back in just a few minutes. All right, now it's time to dive into the beautiful terrazzo dip powder called Skipping Stones. It's such a beautiful color. It has like this muted light blue base, and then it has these really fun terrazzo pieces in it. Now that first dip, you really just want to build up the color on the nail and just have a good base foundation. So I'm not too concerned that I'm not picking up any of those pieces that are in this dip powder, those terrazzo pieces. I'm really just focusing on building up that color for that first coat. So again, we're going to do this on 2 different nails today, and we're just going to go in with a very thin layer of dip base, and then again we're dipping into that cupcake liner. And I feel like Clean Slate and Skipping Stones, just the base color alone is just like really making that Clean Slate blue just really pop. All right, so we're just making sure that nail is completely covered. I did pick up some of those terrazzo pieces there on the sidewall there. I'm just making sure those are super, super flat. And that is definitely the key when you are working with either dip liquids, the gel method, especially when you are making press-ons. You want to make sure you are taking time to make sure everything is pressing super flat, because you want to keep that shape of the nail without adding any extra bulk. All right, so now for that second dip here, we're focusing more on those terrazzo pieces, and you can see here we picked up quite a few. So I am always going to add a few more in some bare spots, so don't be intimidated if you do not pick up as many as your heart desired, because you can always add more. So this one kind of was laying a little funny on the nail, so I just took that one completely off here, and I am just making sure those pieces are laying completely flat. That is the key. Same thing if you were working with a chunky glitter, you kind of want to do the same process when you're working with this type of powder. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do another layer here, and you can see here when I'm applying that dip base, those pieces are coming to life. So you can see here there's some really pretty purple coming through, there's a really beautiful blue, there's some white, so you can really see those terrazzo pieces just shine through here once we applied that dip base. So now what I'm going to do, you totally could go ahead and dip back into the cupcake liner, but to prevent bulk, I'm going to go ahead and hand place tons of those little pieces here on the nail to just really build up that dimension and add more pops of color. Now, completely optional, if you dipped into that cupcake liner or into the jar and you like how that nail turned out organically, go ahead and rock that. You do not need to add any more, but I'm just showing you that you can always add more glitter pieces or more pieces like we're doing right now with the terrazzo pieces to any nail to really just build up that dimension or that sparkle or whatever you're trying to achieve. You can always hand place more. And since we are using dip liquids, sometimes if you have a faster drying dip liquid, you might need to do another layer of dip base and then go ahead and keep applying those pieces onto the nail. But I'm not having any issues with the current brand of the dip liquids that we're using. Now that I have all those pieces in place, I'm just gently pressing them down into the nail here, making sure they're laying really flat. And then to absorb any extra dip base, I'm just going to go ahead and dip that nail back into the cupcake liner here. And then I'm going to spend some time just pressing everything down, making sure everything is as flat as it can be. Again, we want to make sure that the dip powder is still keeping the shape of that nail and not creating any bulk. So this is what we're working with. I really love the placement. I love the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and do that other nail off camera just to save some time. I did the exact same steps. Now we're going to go ahead and protect those nails. I'm only going to clear encapsulate the 2 nails right here that we used skipping stones on to just protect those beautiful terrazzo pieces. Now I will say you can file and buff directly on top of those because the color is going to be the same color all the way through. Versus if you are working with a chunky glitter, normally a chunky glitter, the base of the chunky glitter is silver and then it has a color sprayed on top of it. So if you do not clear encapsulate it and you go ahead and file and buff, you are going to take away that beautiful color. That is not the case with these beautiful terrazzo pieces because they are a little bit softer and they're almost kind of like a clay base. They kind of feel like pieces of clay in my opinion. The color is all the way through. So if you do not clear encapsulate, you can still get away with file and buffing and not wrecking those beautiful pieces. But I just wanted to go ahead and encapsulate them just to help with that surface because those terrazzo pieces are a little bit bumpy, and I just wanted to kind of create more of like a flatter and kind of fill in the areas where it maybe wasn't so flat to the nail. And working with those terrazzo pieces is definitely a trust the process kind of a powder because it's going to give you a lot of different like bumpiness on the nail, but once you go ahead and file and buff, it is a breeze to work with. We are moving right along in this process. We are doing the activator. I am going to spend a little bit more time. I did 2 coats of activator on the nails that we use skipping stones on to really make sure all that activator was penetrating through all those layers, because those clay, they're not clay pieces, but those pieces are a little bit thicker. So I really wanted to make sure that all that activator was sinking in to each layer. So I waited about 3 minutes before I went in with filing. The first step of filing, I'm just cleaning up underneath that press-on nail here. Then I'm going in with a buffer file, and I'm just making sure I am actually a pretty heavy-handed when it comes to filing and buffing. So I'm really focusing on those areas that were not as leveled when it came to those pieces, and they are filing down so nicely. It is by far way easier to file and buff these terrazzo pieces versus filing chunky glitter. It's a really like magical experience. It's really fun to work with, even though they can look a little intimidating on the nail and look a little bit bulky. They file like a dream, and everything is just completely smooth. Now I'm going in with a little buffer here just to get in some more detail areas there. And I did the rest of the filing and buffing off camera. Now to the best part, we're going to do another layer of activator, and this is to me kind of just like a magical experience in itself, because it's getting rid of all those filing and buffing lines. It's also settling in any of that powder that we may have disturbed during filing and buffing, giving it a clean, sleek finish. I just love this step so much. So I'm going to let that sit for about 45 seconds. Then I'm going to go in with a lint-free wipe, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove any extra activator that may be lingering on the nail here before we finish up with a dip top coat. This is definitely an important step, because what's going to happen if I had any activator left behind on this nail and I went in with that finishing dip top coat, I could potentially risk hardening my brush, and that is like the worst part when you're finishing a mani, is contaminating either the whole entire bottle of the dip top coat or the brush itself. So now for the first layer of the dip top coat, I'm just going in and I'm covering the complete nail with one stroke. And don't worry about being too precise with this application. You really just want to do 4 to 5 quick strokes on the nail, and then always go ahead and wipe off that brush on a paper towel before sticking it in the bottle, just to make sure you are not contaminating, just in case there is any extra activator lingering. Then when you go in with the last layer of the dip top coat, you can be more precise in your application and really take your time. So we're just finishing up this nail here. I'm going to do the rest of the top coat off camera. And here's our finished mani. It's a very, just to me, refreshing, but yet kind of has a little bit of pulling like beachy vibes in it. But overall, I really like how this mani turned out. It's very simple. We have this beautiful blue, but then we have like the pops of color when we have those beautiful terrazzo pieces kind of shining through. I really like how we have that beautiful, it's almost like a gray light blue base, and then we have those pops of color shining through. Overall, I do really like the simplicity behind this mani. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Again, these terrazzo piece dips, they're really, honestly, really easy to work with, even though they kind of look like, okay, how is that going to turn out in the end? But super fun to work with. Definitely recommend trying some. So again, everything is listed in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be using red, white, and blue dip powders from Valkyrie Dips, and I'm so excited about this mani. We're going to do some color blocking, and we're going to start off by taping off this nail here for the color blocking. That we're going to start out by using Verbena, which is a really pretty white dip powder, and it also has a surprise. It has a twist of UV, which changes it to a really light purple. So for the color blocking, I am just placing some tape here. I like to use the medical tape. I just feel like it sticks a little bit better, and when it gets wet with the gel products or the dip liquids, that you can still like peel it off and you get a really nice cleaner line, even though the tape is a little bit bigger. So I'm just taking this silicone tip nail art tool here. I'll link that in the description box below. It is just from Amazon, and I'm really just making sure that that tape is laying really flat to the nail, so when we pull it off we get a crisp line, because we're going to do a color blocking with 3 different lines here. So I'm going to start out by placing some gel on that first line here, and I want a thinner white line in the middle. So we're going to be using verbena. Now verbena, you will see here, it's going to show you a UV change when we cure it, and it's a really pretty white with a hint of like this really like subtle purple. It's really pretty, and it actually complements Making Waves, which is this beautiful blue we're going to use here, and Sizzle together. So I think it was really fun, especially if you are in the sun for the upcoming 4th of July weekend. This is going to be a really fun mani, and this white is so full coverage. It is stunning. So check out that purple after we cured it with that UV light. It's just a really pretty, just like a subtle purple, right? It's really pretty. So again, we're going to go in with a second dip on that color blocking, and I'm just making sure I'm really focusing this time that gel product right on that line, just so we can have a smoother, easy peel off with that tape. But I really like color blocking. It's just an easy way to create some nail art. Now, I will say I used to be really scared of color blocking. I tried it once before, like when I first started doing my nails, like 2-3 years ago, and it like looked so bad, and I was like, I'm never doing this again, because I did it on my regular nails and I was still learning. But you know, like when you're starting to do your nails and you see like all these cool things, so you just like try to do everything at once before you like try and just like master something. That was the problem I had, but I just needed to master my dipping first before I like really try to implement some fun nail art. Now, to crisp up that line, I'm just taking a file and I'm just gently cleaning up those edges just to really crisp up those lines. Now, if you've ever tried dip powders from Valkyrie Dips, they are super finely milled and they're very, very easy to file and buff. Really, really minimal filing and buffing. Okay, so now we're going in with that blue, and I'm going to be really, really, really careful and take my time when applying that gel product, so I am not touching that white, because I want to keep that white stripe as pure as possible. If you do get any powder on that white stripe, it's okay. Use an orange wood stick and kind of scrape that off. And then at the end, you could always scrub on some white onto that line to make it more vibrant with like an ombre or makeup brush. So that's just a little helpful tip. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into this fun mani, and then I'll pop back in with my final thoughts.
Life goes up and it goes down. I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little, and we keep track of time, being so serious. Idiots thinking it will matter, keep me company downtown before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm afraid I'll end up nowhere. They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up.
right, now that we finished applying that gel top coat and I cured it for 60 seconds, here's the finished mani. I love it so much. It's a very simple mani, but yet these colors are really fun and vibrant. Sizzle is a beautiful, like bright, almost like a neon red. I love it, and you could see how it looks a little bit toned down with the color blocking. It's just overall a really good staple color. All these colors are great staple colors and fun, but the color blocking, even though it's a simple mani, the color blocking is a statement piece nail, and it just really brings the eye to that color blocking, and it's just so fun. So you can do a lot of different things with color blocking. I really like how it looks on the short coffin nail on an angle like that. I just think it's really pretty, and just overall a really fun mani, and I really enjoyed creating this color blocking. And these powders are so easy to work with, and they're full coverage and packed with pigment, super easy to work with. So if these colors were not your cup of tea, head over to Valkyrie Dips. There are tons of other beautiful colors. You're definitely going to find something that catches your eye, and I will see you all in the next upload. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be using gel products from Stand Nails, and we're going to be creating a really fun strawberry mani, which is perfect for the summer season. So we're going to dive right into this mani. I already went ahead and placed the base coat over that jelly tip, and I'm cured it for 30 seconds. And now it's time to go in with this beautiful red reflective glitter. Now this gel polish is HEMA free, and this is called Ruby Slippers, and it is the perfect tone of red, and it's cram-packed full of those beautiful reflective glitters. It is like a really pretty red. It's like it has the perfect undertone. It's not too bright. So I went ahead and cured that first coat for 30 seconds, and now I'm going in with a second coat, and you can really see that this red and all that sparkly glitter has really just changed up this whole nail here, and it's really pretty, and I cured that for 30 seconds. Now we're going to go ahead and start some nail art. Now we're going to be using Snow Moon for the white part of this nail. You can use any white gel polish, fluffy clouds. I really like the moon whites right now from Stand Nails. I'm pretty obsessed with them. They're just really fun. So I like to do my nail art on a little sandwich baggie, because then I can just toss it at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Stand nail art brush. This is the 20mm side, and I'm going to go ahead and make these little lines and kind of turn them into triangles all over that top area of the nail to kind of create like the strawberry leaves. So I'm doing white first, and then we're going to go ahead and fill it in with a green. The white is really just going to help give it some dimension underneath that green, and I really like how it turned out. And also it's going to be more green than if you were to just place it over the red. You're going to really see the green pull more if you put a white base under it. So now I'm going to go ahead, after I made all those lines, and I'm going to fill in those lines with the rest of the white gel polish. Now if you haven't tried any of Stand Nails gel polishes, I highly recommend. They are so fun. You can do a lot of different things with them. I love the consistency of the gel polishes. They are the perfect formula to create nail art and all over manicures. Options are going to be endless when you're playing with these gels, and the consistency is amazing. It's not too thin, not too thick. It is perfect, and I really love the quality of these gel polishes, and they're HEMA free. So again, I'm just taking my time to really make sure that I am keeping those lines crisp, and I'm just filling in any spots that may be bare, and then that is it. I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds, and here's what it looks like cured, and you can see the strawberries coming along. Now to clean up my brush, I'm going to use the nail brush cleaner, and I'm going to put a little dot right on the sandwich baggie here. You can see a little bit does go a long way, and then I'm going to go ahead and swirl that brush in that brush cleaner, and it is going to clean off the brush. And I also like this brush cleaner because it keeps my bristles conditioned versus the old way when I was cleaning my brushes. I was using Dawn dish soap, which would dry out my bristles. Then after I go ahead and wipe that brush on that sandwich baggie to remove the product, I take a lint-free wipe and gently remove the product off the brush, and it is good to go. So now we're going to be using this really pretty green. Now this is from the Advent Calendar, which is still available. This is in Juniper. And I feel like this is the perfect green, and it is also a pudding gel, and I really like using pudding gels for nail art because it gives it more of like a texture dimension. It's just like the way the formula is, it really helps you like really get into those lines and the consistency. You really have good control with pudding gels when you're doing nail art because it's more of like a, I wouldn't say thicker, but it's more of a condensed formula, and it's super buttery and smooth and pigmented that you can do a lot of stuff with this. So I'm just going to go ahead now and fill in all the areas of white with this really pretty pudding gel. And by the way, I know I said the Advent Calendar is still available on the website. You just have to search, I believe, Advent Calendar, and then it will pop up if you did miss it. All these colors in the Advent Calendar, it's 12 pudding gels. They're really good staple colors, and they are perfect for all year long. Like even this green, it's the perfect tone of green. And you can see here, it's really bringing the strawberry stem to life. And again, I will link everything that we're using in today's video in that description box as well. So you have can just click on the link and find everything that we're using. But you can see here that that pudding gel is just kind of giving it almost like a 3D effect. And I really like how it just gives that stem overall some texture. So it just looks like almost like a real strawberry leaf. I love it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean up that brush. And you can see here that that brush was green, and we are going to make it brand new with this fabulous brush cleaner. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and gently wipe off that brush with a lint-free wipe, and that brush is good to go. And I really like how it just leaves my brush perfect condition, ready to go, and it's conditioned. All right, so here is that strawberry nail now alone with that reflective glitter in that stem. It almost looks like strawberry seeds, but I wanted to take it up a notch, and we're going to use some more pudding gels. We are going to be using Raven, which is a black pudding gel, and I'm using the smaller tip of a dotting tool, and I'm just placing just a few black seeds on that nail just for some extra depth. Now, the reason why I picked pudding gel again was because it gave it more of like that 3D risen look, which I really wanted. Now you could use black gel polish and it's gonna be almost one with the nail, but I really like how it looked with the pudding gel to kind of give it more of a textured look. Now this step is totally optional because with that reflective glitter, it already looked like a juicy strawberry, which I really loved. So I cured that pudding gel. Right now it's in the lamp for 60 seconds, and then I just cleaned up that dotting tool, and then we're gonna finish off this mani with one of my favorite gel top coats. I love this one so much. The consistency, it's a thinner consistency, and the shine is amazing on this top coat, and it's also HEMA free. But I really love the Sandara gel base top coat. I love their gel products. The quality is definitely there, and I'm gonna cure that for 60 seconds. And here is our finished strawberry. It is so fun. How cute is this strawberry? It is perfect for summer. I love it so much. It was really easy to create, and I really like how that reflective glitter just really just turns up this whole strawberry mani to another level. Now if you are not a fan of glitters, you can totally do a solid red gel color and then do the same steps that we did to create the strawberry. But I really think that reflective glitter just gives it like the ultimate sparkle, which is perfect for summer. So I will go ahead and link everything that we use in today's mani in that description box below, and I will see you all in the next upload. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be trying new dip powders from a company I've never tried before, and it is called Mama Makes Your Own Dips. The name is super cute, and here's what the packaging looks like. These are the sample size jars, so they're clear on the bottom so you can see what color you're going to be dipping into, and then the name and then the logo is super cute as well. We're going to create a set of press-ons on the shape short coffin, and then we're going to use dip liquids today. I figured for testing out these dip powders, it's only fair to see their true performance by using dip liquids. So we are using that today for the dip base, the activator, and then we are going to finish up this mani today with a gel top coat. All right, so we're diving into the first color here, and I will say these are really soft and buttery. So if you are not making press-ons and you're dipping into the jar, they're very soft in that perfect velvety feel. And right off the bat, the coverage is really good. It is just, there's no patchiness or streakiness or anything like that. It is covering the entire nail, and it's just like a beautiful icy shimmer, and that shimmer is super subtle and it's very pretty, and everything is laying super flat. So we're going to move on. We're going to do 2 coats today, 2 dips of this powder, and we're going to use it on 2 different nails as well. So I'm just doing a very thin layer of dip base on the entire nail, and then I am dipping into the cupcake liner. You could also do the pour over method. Now again, these are sample size jars, and you can get them in larger sizes as well. You can get the colors that we're working with today as a trio. It's the Mother's Day trio, or you can get them individually. So right here, my camera's having like the hardest time focusing here, but we are just dusting off here and we're gonna move right along. So here's that first coat. It is giving me like these really pretty icy blue vibes. I do think it's this color right here alone with 1 coat, since it is very full coverage, it has like the slight like iciness to it. I feel like that's really pretty by itself as well. So if you're not looking to build structure and you just want like the perfect light icy blue with like still like that sea glass kind of finish, because that's what it's kind of pulling through right now with that first coat, this is definitely going to be a great powder because it is that full coverage. And I really like this color in general because a lot of times when you're working with light blues, they can look a little chalky and streaky, and I'm not having any issues with that, even though my camera right now is struggling to focus on these beautiful powders. But that's going to clear up here in just a moment. So I'm just pressing everything down, making sure everything's laying super flat. You can see that color payoff. It's definitely pulling in more of that light blue with that second coat here, but we're going to build it up today with 2 coats. If you wanted to, you definitely could do 3. Again, options are endless when you're doing your nails at home. I will be honest, I have been sitting on these powders for quite a while. One of my nail friends, Michelle, she sent these to me to try, and when I saw these colors, I knew I wanted to incorporate them for spring. And then I was like, okay, Mother's Day trio, I guess we'll just wait a little bit to kind of pull them in as a spring mani. And then these are really fun colors for Mother's Day. It's kind of a twist. I really like how it has more neutral colors pulled in with the solids. And then it's not so girly because I'm a boy mom. I have 2 boys. I have my youngest is 1. His name is Kylo, and then I have a 2-year-old named Leo. So I have 2 boys, and I really like this trio because I feel like it's kind of gravitating towards the boy moms out there, and I'm loving it. So here's the next color, and the play of the names are so cute too, but this color speaks to me. It is soft, it's giving me peach blossoms, and it's still carrying that really beautiful sparkle. I will say the sparkle in these first 2 colors that we're playing with are not disappointing, and I love a good sparkle. Plus, when you have not just like a pure solid powder, if you have like a slight shimmer or like one like we're working with right now that has like this beautiful fine shimmer to it, it's gonna help cover any imperfections in your nails as well, and it's gonna help give you more of that flawless finish. But I am loving this color. I gravitate towards colors like this. So to me, this color kind of just like sealed in the deal for me. I feel like this would be a great all over mani as well. You could also use this as a background and then incorporate some like bright pops of color for like some fun flower nail art. So you can see here, we definitely are building up this color here, and it is getting even better with that 2 dips here. But overall, such a beautiful powder. So we're going to go ahead and dust off. And for dip liquids today, I'm using the Sandara dip liquids. They are not a stronger scent. A lot of times when you're working with dip liquids, they can be very overpowering and have a very strong scent. They're not low odor, but they do have a lower scent. So if you are in the market for liquids that are not like overbearing and super strong, these are definitely a great liquid. All right, so now we are done with this color right here. We're just going to press everything down, making sure everything is laying super flat before we dive into the most like best glitter ever. It is everything. So this one right here, this glitter, oh, we need to definitely dive into this and get a closer look. Check it out. it is pulling in so many beautiful colors of blues and dusty roses and greens and pinks. It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers had an explosion, and this is what we're going to be working with. It is stunning. By far, I cannot wait to dive into this glitter. You're going to be able to pair this glitter with so many different things. You're going to be able to do, I feel like white would be awesome with this, but I mean, that's like a given, right? But even like a navy blue or beautiful pink, greens, you're going to be able to do so much. And if you do look at it as well, I know I said it's like kind of like a flower explosion. It's also giving me kind of like fiesta vibes as well. So I feel like you're going to be able to definitely take this glitter into the summer season as well. So now what I'm doing is I am just gently pressing everything down, making sure all these glitters are laying super flat. I am using a precision tool today, and I'm really making sure I'm getting any glitters that are underneath that press on or on the sidewalls. I'm removing those completely because I want to make sure that we have a really seamless filing and buffing experience when it gets to that time. Plus, I want to make sure I'm removing any of those little sparkles away from underneath the nail. So that way then we have a clean surface from when we are transitioning the press-on nail to the natural nail, that we don't have any of those glitters under there. So we get a really good flat adhesion. If you have any glitters under there when you are applying your press-on, you're not going to get a good adhesion, and then you could experience lifting. So just keep that in mind. The cleaner you can get the underside of that nail, and you can definitely clean that up during filing and buffing. You don't have to get like as excessive as I am right now when I am cleaning up underneath that nail with that precision tool. You definitely can tackle that area during filing and buffing as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and press down all these beautiful glitters. I will say I do spend a little bit of time making sure everything is laying super, super flat. The flatter I can get these glitters and the less filing and buffing I need to do, the better. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to do another full layer of dip base to the entire nail, and then I'm going to hand place some of the larger glitters, and then we're going to tap on some of the finer glitters. Now I like doing this when I want to try and reduce any bulk on the nail, but I will say I feel like I could have easily gotten away with a third dip with these glitters. They are very thin. So now I'm just taking a little ombre brush and I am picking up larger and smaller glitters here just to help absorb any extra of that dip base here. And then it's just going to give us a little bit of dimension because we are going to get some of those smaller glitters on top of the larger glitters. And then for extra precaution to make sure all that dip base was absorbed, I did go back in and dip directly into that cupcake liner. And I will say I did notice, so the larger glitters are beautiful colors of like corals and pinks and teals and blues and greens. And I really like how there are smaller pieces of glitter in those exact same colors. So not only do you get a lot of dimension with the different shapes of glitter, because there's fine glitters in here, there's smaller, there's chunky, but I really like the incorporation of the larger glitters and the smaller glitters having the same color scheme, because a lot of times the bigger glitters are your like color pieces, and then you're kind of like focused on covering your nail and getting the best color throughout the nail only with those bigger pieces. But I really like how the smaller glitters are incorporated in those colors, if that makes sense. All right, so that's all we're doing for that glitter nail. But now I wanted to add, because this glitter right here, this for me, this glitter is everything. And I was like, we need to add more glitter to this mani. Totally optional. You could totally keep the mani as is, or you can do what we're doing right now. So we're taking a precision tool with that dip base, and we're just going to focus on picking up the different blue colors that are in this glitter mix. And I'm just focusing on the bigger glitters, and then I'm going to work my way through the different sizes here just to kind of create a fun design. And I really like the simplicity behind it. You don't need to do like a whole bunch of glitter to incorporate glitter. You can just hand place a few pieces to really make your mani or the nail set that you're creating your own. And these colors right here are so pretty, and I feel like with this like icy blue background that we're working with, it just really gives the nail a lot of depth. And it's just like a really fun twist to play with these glitters. And if you want to go crazy and add more glitter than what we're doing today, you definitely can. I mean, I kind of had to hold myself back by adding more glitter, but I really wanted to keep it very simple with the glitter because I didn't want it to take away from the beautiful base color that we just spent that time on. I really just wanted to showcase these colors and different ways you could play with this glitter. But that's what we're working with, and we're going to speed it up a little bit. We're just going to finish placing some glitter on the other nails just to tie it in. I originally was not going to do any more glitter, but then I kind of had a little bit too much fun hand placing the glitter. I will say hand placing glitter is really fun. It is something you want to do when you know you have time. If you have like only like 30 minutes to get your mani done, then maybe that's not something you want to dabble in, because hand placing glitter can take a little bit of time, but it is also really fun and I definitely recommend it. All right, so we're moving on to the other nail here, and now we're picking up some of those dusty rose colors and like that copper pink color. Oh, it's so pretty. So we're just picking up those colors, and then we're going to work with some smaller pinks. So that is all we're doing today. And again, like I said, you don't necessarily have to add all that glitter, but it is really fun. And I really like the pop of like dimension that we're getting with the coinciding glitter colors with that dip base. And the precision tool that I'm using today and everything else can be found in that description box below. So we finished placing the rest of the glitter, and I will say this mani is kind of giving me Bluey vibes. I don't know if that's just like my mom brain, but it's definitely pulling in Bluey the cartoon vibes. With that blue is giving me Bluey, and then that like beautiful just like peachy color is kind of giving me Bingo vibes. And then we added those glitters, so that's where my mind went after I saw this mani with the glitters placed. I'm like, okay, we got a little bluey going on here. All right, so now we're clear encapsulating. I did a layer of dip base on the nail, and then I just went ahead and let that glitter nail kind of just marinate in that clear powder to just really absorb into all that beautiful glitter. And I'm going to go ahead and dip it back into the clear just to make sure we are absorbing all those dip liquids, because I do not want to risk cutting into all this beautiful color here. This nail right here is definitely my favorite. I feel like if you did a mani with like corals, this glitter would look fabulous for the summer with some bright pops of coral. So now that we're done encapsulating, I did the rest of the nails off camera. I'm using a stiff brush before we go in with the activator on all the nails, just to really give it a good scrub. And this will also prevent any cloudiness when you do go in with your activator, because if you have any clear that is lingering and then you go in with your activator, you're gonna get a really cloudy kind of background, and then your colors and your glitters are not gonna be as true of color. You're gonna have like a haze or cloudiness over it. And I will say the activation process is one of my favorite things when I'm using dip liquids. I love seeing like the powders just all kind of melt down and become one, and you can just really see the vibrancy of color. So I waited about 2 minutes here, and now I'm going to go in with filing and buffing. I'm just going to show you the filing and buffing on one nail here, but I will say filing and buffing was pretty easy. They are very finely milled when it comes to the dip powders, and the glitters were very thinly cut. So overall, I did not have any issues when it came to filing and buffing. It was just your pretty standard buffing and filing experience. And I did go ahead and file and buff the rest of the nails off camera just to save some time. But I love this buffer that I'm using right here. It gives me more control when I'm filing and buffing because it's the same size as a file. All right, so the rest of the filing and buffing was done off camera. Now what I'm going to do, even though I am going in with a gel top coat, I am still going to go ahead and activate. What that's going to do, it's going to go ahead and seal in any of the powders that we may have disturbed during filing and buffing, and it's also going to get rid of any harsh filing or buffing lines. So this is the gel top coat that I'm going in with. It is a 2-in-1, so it is an anti-chip, anti-flake. It's also HEMA free, so you do not have to do a gel base. You can go right in with this. Cure for 60 seconds. I did the rest of the nails off camera, and then here's the finished mani. I'm totally loving this play of colors. We have a little bit of cooler tone colors mixed in with some warm. I love it so much. It's like a very subtle shimmer, and then we have that little placement of glitter here just to tie in a little extra sparkle. And that glitter, it is everything. I said in the beginning, it looked like a bouquet of flowers that exploded, and then those are the colors that we're working with. And it's still giving me that feeling, and I just really enjoyed working with these colors. They're very buttery. I was very impressed by the coverage, especially with that first dip. I was not expecting that at all. I'm actually a little disappointed that I did not play with these sooner, but when I saw the color palette and then I was looking into the colors on the website and noticed it was kind of like a Mother's Day thing, I was like, okay, fine, we'll wait to play with these a little later. But I'm so glad I tried them, and thank you, Michelle, for sending them to me. They are fantastic. So I really hope you enjoyed today's mani, and if these colors are not your cup of tea, head over to Mama Makes Her Own Dips. You're definitely going to find something that catches your eye. There are beautiful glitters, there's foils, there's shimmers, there's solids, there's going to be something that you definitely gravitate towards. So don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we are going to be trying the trending water mani. I am super excited. I've seen a lot of manis on TikTok and Instagram, and I am ready to take the plunge, and we're going to splash into this mani using products from Stand Putty Nails to create this water effect mani. So I'm going to start out by using Jelly Billy, which is this beautiful jelly blue. It is perfect, and even without the water effect, this nail is already giving me all those water vibes. So I'm doing one coat right now of this beautiful jelly polish, and you can use any jelly color you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and do another layer of this beautiful jelly blue. Now if you do not have a jelly polish, you can go ahead and use any color you want and add some gel base to it, and it's going to give you this jelly look. So I cured that for 30 seconds, and while that's curing, I'm going to take a Ziploc baggie. Now I like to use Ziploc baggies when I'm using any polish for like nail art, because then I can just toss it. So I'm going to go ahead and use Snow Moon, and it's like a sheer white color, but it has like a pink accent to it. And you can also use Fluffy Clouds, which is a pure white. You can use any white color you want for this method. I just really like the Moon Crest polishes from Stand Putty Nails because they have all different shades of white. This one is the pink undertone. So then I'm taking a dot of gel base, and I'm going to add it to that polish there, and I'm going to mix it all together, and this is going to give us that milky white that we need for this mani. Now you can get milky white polish on its own, but I wanted to create my own here, and I had so much fun doing it. So then I'm taking this flat brush here, and I'm gonna go ahead and brush on this milky white polish all over the entire nail. And we are not gonna cure this after we apply it. We are just gonna apply it and leave it uncured, and then you're gonna see it come to life. Now this brush here from Stand Putty Nails is amazing, especially for pudding gels. It is amazing. It makes the gel polish apply so well, and it's a very well made brush, and it's very easy to clean off. And you can see here that we are getting that perfect milky effect here, and you can see a little bit of that jelly blue peeking through. So I'm just making sure I have it coated where I want it. Now I have some lines in here, and that is perfectly fine. That is how I wanted it. So I was a little bit heavy handed on this brush because I wanted some of these lines to make it more of like a water effect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you can use a dotting tool, or you can use your gel top coat brush itself. So we did not cure this milky white, it is uncured. And now I'm going to dab on the gel polish to the nail. So this is the gel top coat here, and I am just dabbing on these little dots here, and you can see the transformation happening. It is pooling like little water droplets, and it is so fun and pretty. If you are working with a longer nail, you are going to have to be a little bit speedy because it's going to start bleeding together. But if you like that look, I mean, when you're doing your nails at home, whatever look you want, that is all that matters. But it is going to pull together really fast if you have a longer nail, so just keep that in mind. So here is the first nail, and then I went ahead and cured that for 60 seconds, and it is so fun. I love it so much. You can see it has a lot of dimension and texture, and it's really, really fun. And to seal that off, you're just going to go ahead and seal it again with a layer of top coat. So we're going to do this again on another nail. Now you can place these dots on the nail however you want. So if you want to make a certain pattern or just focus on a certain area, you can. So that's what's really fun about this. Now if you did like 2 different color jelly polishes and then put that milky white on top, it would even give it some more dimension, but it looks really fun, and it was really awesome to create. So again, just put that jelly polish on, cure that, then you're gonna go ahead and put that milky color all over that nail, and do not cure it, and then go in with your favorite top coat, and voila, you have the perfect water mani. So everything that we use in today's video is also HEMA free and 21 free from Stand Nails. I love the gels so much. It is just such amazing quality and color, pigment payoff and everything, and I love them so much. They do not have like a strong scent to them or anything like that, but how fun is this pinky nail right here? And then I did the rest of the nails off camera, and they're just so fun. So here is the mani with that water effect on its own. It's really fun, perfect for summer. Again, you could even do a teal color, or even pink would be so much fun. Options are endless when you're going to try this effect. And another thing that's really fun about this mani as well is that you can jazz it up. So you can make it an under the sea mani with some really fun stickers here. We got some fish, and then we have some 3D jellyfish, and I went ahead and placed those on the nail, and it kind of took this mani to a whole nother level. And I'm living for this because we used the jellyfish jellies from Stand Nails, and then we added these jellyfish. It kind of just, I don't know, it melts my heart because I'm completely obsessed with those jelly polishes. But there's just something about this mani that is screaming summer to me, and I love it so much. I just think it overall just changed up this mani completely. So I will go ahead and link everything that we use in today's mani in that description box below. This trend was super fun. I highly recommend it, and I'll see you all in my next upload. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from Valkyrie Dips on a set of press-ons today on the shape Short Coffin. This is definitely my go-to shape. We're also using dip liquids, so we are not using any gels for this set. We're going to start off with Harmony, which is the perfect name for this color because it's soft, it's beautiful. So it's in like the light pink family, but yet it pulls a little bit nude. And then it has the most like delicate shimmer to it. It is really pretty, and if you love like those pinkies with a little bit of like that neutral nudeness to it, this color right here is going to be for you. So check out that first coat here. We are working with dip liquids today, and that coverage is just amazing with that first coat here. So even though we are using dip liquids, I still am gently pressing everything down. That is like the rule of thumb for me when I'm making press-ons. I learned this along the way, that you just really need to make sure that you are taking that time just to press everything down, so just everything can kind of take shape with that nail. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of bulk and buildup. Yes, you can go ahead and remove some of that bulk during filing and buffing, but that is going to take you a little bit of time to remove that bulk. So to help reduce that problem, I just make sure I spend time pressing everything down. And another key factor to help reduce bulk when it comes to press-ons is making sure you're doing very, very thin layers of your dip base, or if you're doing the gel method, making sure you have a very thin consistency when it comes to gels as well. Those are the key factors that's really going to help you make sure that when you are dipping, making a set of press-ons, that everything is just forming to the nail and not giving you like any of the like bulk factor. I do get a lot of questions asking how to reduce the bulk, and those are definitely my key points. And I will say for me personally, like right after the cuticle line where that nail kind of curves down, that's where I tend to hold a lot of the bulk when I'm making a press-on. So I'll just make sure that I'm really focusing on those areas. But it did take me quite a while to get the hang of making press-ons. So if you are just starting, do not give up. It does take a little bit of practice. And even though I make press-ons, I make about 2 to 3 sets a day, I still am learning as we go and coming up with new ways to make that press-on kind of look more natural to the nail. But it's overall a really, really fun process. But again, practice makes perfect, and just making sure everything is laying super flat and having very thin layers of your liquids will definitely help you. All right, so we're just finishing up Harmony here. We're gonna do 2 coats of each color today. So enough chit chat. We've been doing a lot of chit chat here in the last couple of videos, so I thought today we would take some time, just sit back and watch these beautiful colors in action. And then I'm gonna pop back in at the end with my final thoughts.
Trees aren't green, the ocean is gray, sky is a vague blue, come my way. My room is a mess, it could use a hand. My favorite TV shows to capture in. I know must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise. I think I let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know I can't make it through. Every night is the same. I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone now. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know all of my problems. I know. Where did it go? The feeling of thirst, desire to be a rock in my heels. I'm numb as a poison, flows in my veins. Guess I got used to avoiding the pain. I know must get it right, must get back in the fight. This can't be a surprise. I think I let it slide. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know I can't make it through. Every night is the same. I keep running fast, left and right, wondering where my head's gone now. I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems. I know all of my problems. I know. Maybe I need a break. Maybe that's why I fade into this bitter taste. I think I'll let it be. Life goes up and it goes down. I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little, and we keep track of time, being so serious, idiots, thinking it will matter, keep me company downtown before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm afraid I'll end up nowhere. They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, no, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, no, not yet, whoa. I'm not gonna wake up. you're smiling, just really doing nothing. That's the thing I like about you. On the highway, it's our way, Route 66, and we keep on driving. We just do what we wanna do. Yeah, no, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, playing songs on the radio, sing along to the words that we don't know how. Brings out the wildness. Let's just run away. Yeah, I could drive the whole along. Being with you is like being on the rodeo highways. Brings out the wildness. I got a little crush on you. You say that I'm crazy. It's just the way that I get every time that I am with you. Your laughter takes me to heaven. I just wanna make you repeat it and repeat it again. Yeah, you make the sky so blue. No, nothing's complicated with you. Hey, playing songs.
Alright, so we're just wrapping up that second layer of the top coat. I did the rest of the top coat off camera, and here's the finished mani. This color combination is everything. It's soft, it's delicate, but yet you still have like that pop of darkness shining through. This is like the perfect, if you're not into like bright colors for summer, this is kind of giving me summer vibes, like throwing on a jean jacket and you are good to go, but very pretty. That blue, it is everything. It has like the most beautiful shimmer. I love how it gives that nail some dimension as well. But these powders were super, super easy to work with. They're very finely milled, and I got great coverage with the dip liquids, and that chunky glitter that we worked with too in that middle nail. Everything laid so flat and just came together perfectly, and I'm loving this color palette right here. And everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed today's simple mani. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one.